Hi there, I'm Cailen Ascher, and these are the Clarity Confessions. Every show, I sit down with top female entrepreneurs and get them to confess their best and most inspiring secrets for creating soulfully expansive success on their terms. If you're ready for a heaping dose of clarity, inspiration, and feel-good strategies to move you forward in life and business, get ready. It's time for our next confession.
Today, I am so excited to introduce you to Kimra Luna. She is an amazing gal. I have had the pleasure of meeting her a couple times at some events in New York City, and I think she is going to really inspire you guys with, her story and her wisdom on the show today. So let me give you a little bit more about her, and then we'll chat with Kimra. So with her bright blue hair and punk rock style, Kimra is probably the last person you'd expect to have become a millionaire or to be profiled in the Huffington Post, Business Insider, Yahoo, or Forbes.com. In a modern-day rags to riches story, 30-year-old mother of three, Kimra went from growing up on welfare to becoming a highly sought-after personal branding and social media expert, earning over $1 million in her first 18 months of business. She now leads a community of over 90,000 entrepreneurs. Since starting her business in May of 2014, she has been interviewed by some of the biggest names in the online business world, including Gary Vaynerchuk, Pat Flynn, and Lewis Howes. She speaks on topics such as social media marketing, personal branding, and how to create customers and clients that are raving fans. Kimra, welcome to the show.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Of course. Oh, I'm so excited to dive into this today. And I'd love to get started with just hearing a little bit more from you. Like, how did you get started on this entrepreneurial path that you're now on?
Yeah, I'm kind of a natural entrepreneur. I started my first booking agency when I was 18 years old. And, I had a few people that kind of just cheered me on, and I was like, all right, I'm going to do it. And I did very well with that. I made close to $100K in my first year. So I was 18 years old, and this was back in 2004. And here I am with all this money. I did spend all of it on traveling. Luckily, I didn't get into some other not so good things 18-year-olds get into. But I did spend a lot of it on traveling, and I did really, really well. And I'm born and raised in Idaho. That's where I'm from, and where I was booking concerts. And I ended up moving to California because I wanted to keep pursuing it and work with record labels and things like that. So I moved down to California, and I just continued, doing what I was doing and booking concerts, and ended up touring with punk bands and traveling all over the country and to other countries as well. And I was able to get a lot of life experience at a pretty young age, being 18 and kind of thrown into the world of, different people, especially being from a place like Idaho where you're very sheltered and it's not very cultural, so to speak. I got to learn a lot at a pretty young age, and I think a lot of that has helped me in my current business that I have now. So I'm running, booking agencies, doing concerts for a living, and 2009 happens, and the economy basically completely crashes, and nobody's going to concerts anymore. So it was a good time for me to get out of that industry, and I had also just given birth to my first son. So it was kind of a good time to transition. However, because of this economic thing that had happened, it was very difficult for myself and my husband. Neither of us have college degrees or anything or much job experience to get a job. So we ended up moving in with my in-laws. We were on welfare for 4.5 years. I actually had my second son during that time. And when my second son was born, that was really the thing that really sparked a lot of things in me. I'd been dabbling with other businesses. I'd had Etsy shops. I'd had all these blogs. I had tried every single type of business there was to try to get us off of welfare is basically what I was trying to do. We need to have a sustainable life for these kids. And when he was born, it was okay, that was the rock bottom, which the day your second son is born is supposed to be oh yeah, everything's so happy. But it was my rock bottom day. And it was when I was I know that I have more inside of me, and we have to do something now. A few weeks after that, we manifested a particular post on Facebook where someone had said that there were jobs for men up in North Dakota. And we're living in California, nice, sunny, good weather. And then I'm hey, husband, do you want to go to North Dakota and get a job? And he's like, okay, like, let's look into it a little bit, but yeah, like, let's see what there is there. And he ended up getting a job working for FedEx. And this was like the first stable job that could actually get us off of welfare. So we were like so ecstatic. He ended up going to, so my newborn baby was only 3 months old, and I had a 2-year-old, and I'm living at my in-laws' house. Me and the boys stayed at my in-laws' house, and my husband went to North Dakota for 6 months.
Oh my God.
Oh, it was so devastating because we were so used to being at home with them the whole time, especially because it was very difficult to us to have jobs. We had like little odd jobs here and there, but like, you know, it's like he was always home with us and the kids. So that kind of broke our heart a little bit, but we knew that it was going to be that next step forward. We had to take a big leap of having my husband move to another state so that we could provide something for our family. And we ended up moving to Virginia because I did not want to move to North Dakota. No offense to people that live in North Dakota, but there is like no vegan food there. So I probably would have starved if I moved there. So anyways, we ended up moving to Virginia. He found a different FedEx job out in Virginia. And that's when I really became just a housewife. Like I was like, oh, now I'm like a housewife taking care of the kids. But I'm a person who is very, very highly passionate. I had already been running a Vegan Mamas Facebook group for several years at that point. I think it'd been about 3 years. I'd already been running a Facebook group that I was in for hours and hours every day, helping women with their health and wellness and all sorts of remedies. And I mean, I was like health junkie, right? And I decided I wanted to create a blog around all this knowledge that I had in my head because I was already spending so many hours in the group. I was like, I might as well do this publicly, you know? So I create a blog called The Misfit Mama, and the Misfits are my favorite punk band. I'm actually wearing a Misfits t-shirt as we speak. You
That's awesome.
As we speak, I'm wearing a Misfits t-shirt. I might have to take a picture of my shirt and send it to you. But yeah, like that was my favorite punk band. And I was like, oh, the Misfit Mama. That sounds pretty cool. So at the time, I didn't realize I was creating a personal brand for myself. And the funny thing is I already had a personal brand. Even before I created the blog, all of my Facebook friends, which was thousands and thousands of them, had already saw me as a health expert. They had already saw me as the go-to person if you need an essential oil for your kids, if you need some sort of remedy, like they already knew me as that. I still get messages to this day about all that stuff all the time. I was just already known by that. And so I create my blog, and everyone was so excited about my blog because they're like, wow, finally Kimra's going to share this to the public, and we can like share the links and things like that. And I built it to become very popular on Pinterest. I had a massive Pinterest following. Some of my pins on Pinterest had over 80,000 repins. And there's one today, I Googled it the other day. I was looking for one of my pins from this was from years ago. And it now has like over 170,000 repins, something like that. Like,
That's
it's
awesome.
insane. Like, I mean, my pins just like exploded. And like, I was one of those people that was like, oh, like, let's do, you know, this type of challenge, you know, make your life better challenge, like all these challenge type of things. And those were still really new at the time. Like, it wasn't like a thing. And so my stuff like just really, really blew up. And then I also was building like basically like almost like daily vlogging with videos. So I would just hold up my iPhone and make videos of me and the kids making smoothies or whatever, you know, and my husband wasn't in any of the videos because he's like shy. He doesn't even have an Instagram account, right? So like he's like, I'm not going to be in any of those videos. You can do whatever you want, right? So I just, you know, made the videos of me and the kids, and my YouTube channel grew to about 25,000 subscribers. And this was all just naturally, just me being myself. I wasn't, you know, trying to be like, oh, I hope I'm like a bajillionaire from this or whatever. I was just doing what I loved, and it was enjoyable and fun, and the kids had fun with it too. And you know, it was really, really great. And so I started building up all this Pinterest popularity. And one of my family friends, that he's been our friend for about 10 years, he messaged me on Skype, like out of nowhere. I was just like, oh, why does he message me on Skype? Like, oh, hey, how's it going? He's like, how's your blog doing? I was like, oh, it's really great. I got like 100,000 unique views this month, so I think I'm doing pretty good. And he's like, 100,000 unique views? Where'd you get those from? And, you doing paid ads or something? And I'm like, no, I'm not doing any paid ads. Like, I don't even know how to do paid ads. And he says to me, well, you need to get on a webinar with my audience and show them how you're doing this. And I was like, okay, like, I don't even know how to make slides, you know? And he's like, it's okay, just write it all up on a document and just tell everybody everything you know. So I was like, okay. And he's like, oh, and by the way, we're going to do it tomorrow because I do my Google Hangouts on Wednesdays. I was like, kidding me? He's like, I'm going to write an email and send it to my list right now. I'm like, oh my God, like, what the hell is going on? Right? So he threw me into this presentation, and I shared every speck of knowledge that I knew about Pinterest. And I was already a person who loved to share knowledge in general, which is why I had a blog, and I was doing all sorts of videos, and I was, you know, sharing recipes and all sorts of stuff. And when I did that webinar, that's when I was like, I enjoy teaching this. Like, that was the thing I enjoyed teaching. Like, afterwards, everyone was like, oh my gosh, my mind is blown. And then people hired me at the end of that too. So it was the first time people were like hiring me for something. They were like, you need to help me with my Pinterest. They're like emailing me afterwards. And so I got like 3 clients from like doing this thing. I was like, oh my gosh, like I have clients. Like, this is great. Like, I didn't even know what a client contract was. I had to like Google it and make a client contract, you know, like it was crazy. Like, I did, like, it just all like happened so fast. And so I start working with these people, and at first they were hiring me to help them with their Pinterest account. But what happened is their whole brand was really, really weak. And so I was helping them redesign their websites and like revamp all their social media platforms and help them with their email optimizations. And like, I kind of like dove into these people's brands and like re-transformed their brands from the inside out. And that's when I was like, oh, I'm a personal branding person. Like, like light bulb, you know, like I'm a personal branding person because I did it naturally. Like, I didn't go to school to learn branding. It was just like what my natural beingness did. And so that's my strength, and that's what I still do now. And I decided, I'm going to scrap my health and wellness blog, which people were so devastated. I still get emails from people like saying how devastated they were about that. But I scrapped that whole blog and created my new business, which is called Freedom Hackers. And with Freedom Hackers, I wanted to help teach people the different types of tools and strategies and maybe like techniques and things that they don't hear other places that people were kind of hiding. And when I kind of first came onto the scene, so to speak, it was like May 2014. And back then, people were really holding back. I mean, webinars were boring as hell. Like, I mean, it was just so ridiculous. Like, I spent so much time watching webinar presentations because I didn't have money to buy courses. And so many of them were so freaking boring. And I was like, that's it. I'm like changing this whole thing. Like, my webinars are going to be the freaking bomb. People are going to learn tons of content. They're going to know all sorts of strategies to do. Like, I just kind of went completely opposite of what so many people in the industry were doing. And I decided to just do it my own way. And I launched my website, and I had, you know, my mini courses on there. And then I started promoting webinars like right away. Like, I didn't even wait. Like, most people would have like waited a year before they even do one webinar. And I was just like, nope, I'm doing them right now. My website's not perfect. Nothing's perfect. I don't care. I'm just doing a webinar. And the first one I did was on PicMonkey. And I promoted on Facebook ads. So I also did Facebook ads right away too. And get this, I didn't have a ton of money to do this. Like, I had to like beg my husband to like let us get like a credit card so I can like spend some money on like Facebook ads. Cause I'm like, how can I make any money if nobody sees me? Right? Like, I'm in front of people. So I'm, you know, like, okay, this might be risky, but my husband's like, hey, when that credit card runs out, that's all you got, girl. Like, you know, I'm just like, all right, like, it's time to like hustle and do this thing. And so I started promoting these webinars on Facebook ads. And I ended up doing that same webinar teaching PicMonkey 3 times because it was so popular. Like, it was like I got 1,000 people on my email list in just a week and a half period of time.
Oh my gosh. That's crazy.
I was like this. I'm like, what is happening? But it's because people weren't teaching all the secret sauce, you know, like people were just holding that in. And I was like, hell no, I'm going to show you everything. You know, like, here's how you make a logo. Here's how you make a banner. Here's how you make this. Oh, this is how you do this. Like, I just showed everything I freaking knew because I wanted to show people that I was the expert and I knew what the hell I was talking about, because I'm the weird chick with the weird hair and my head was like shaved on the side. I got tattoos and piercings all over my face. I had to prove to people that I knew what the hell I was talking about. So I knew webinars was the best way to be an expert, right?
Yeah.
So I did that, and then I started telling everybody, hey, I wasn't even pitching anything. I just said, hey, join my Facebook group, join my Facebook group, join my Facebook group. And then people, after that presentation, started emailing me, can you show me to do this one-on-one for my brand? I want you to show me how to do this one-on-one. I want you to show me how to set up these technical things and stuff. So I was like, okay. So I made like a little sales page that was like $2,000. You get coaching with me, like 1 call a week for 16 weeks. And I posted it. And I emailed it to my little list that I had grown. And I got 3 clients in 1 day.
That's awesome.
And then like a few days later, I got like 2 more clients. But then after that, I couldn't even take any more clients because my husband was still working a job. And I was at home with the 2 little kids. So I was just like, and I had no friends or family to come and like help me like watch them or anything. So I'm like, what am I supposed to do? So then I just asked my husband, can you like quit your job? Because I need to get like more clients and like more customers and stuff. And so I started working with these clients. And after a few months, that's what helped me develop my signature program, which was called Be True Brand You. So working with the clients helped me figure out exactly the type of program that I wanted to release into the world, because I never wanted to do one-on-one clients. I still don't do one-on-one clients. Like, I never wanted to do that. Like, that wasn't part of the game plan. It kind of just happened. Mm-hmm. And it was like perfect that it happened, though, because it helped me realize what I really, really wanted to create, which was a larger digital program that could change the lives of thousands of people at once rather than just a few people. So that's kind of like that story. And then my first launch, I ended up making $65,000 in sales. I had only been in business for 3 months, by the way. So I made myself as an expert in 3 months. Then I did a Black Friday promo that was $40,000 in sales. Then I did and by the way, pregnant this whole time. So I became pregnant right when I got into the first launch. So pregnant, my 3rd kid. And then I did a launch shortly after that, about 6 months after that, in February 2015, which was $75,000 in sales. My goal was $200,000. I was like, oh yeah, and I thought that was like my stretching goal. I was like, yeah, I'll make $200,000, and then I made $750,000.
That's so crazy.
It was completely insane. And I'm sitting here, I ran that entire launch laying in bed because I was sick and pregnant from my laptop. Like, I was doing webinars from my laptop in bed. Like, because I had to, like, like what was I going to do, right? So I just knew that I could do it. And then my next launch, we ended up moving here to New York City, Manhattan, where I live. And then I did a launch in February of 2016, and then that was 1.2 million in sales.
That's crazy.
So it grew and grew and grew and grew and grew and grew and grew. And now who knows what the heck's going to happen with the next launch. So we'll find out.
Yeah. Oh gosh, that's so exciting. And thank you for sharing like that timeline too, because I think a lot of people wonder, how long do I have to wait to do Facebook ads? And it's really just your choice, right? It's like, how seriously are you taking yourself in your business? Like, are you ready to invest? Because do you believe that, believe in yourself enough? So,
yeah. And I mean, sometimes people, they can go slower routes by just growing things more organically. And I think that's perfectly fine. I just feel like when you actually start investing, it's telling the universe, okay, this person's taking this seriously. Like, it's not a hobby anymore. It becomes a real business, because now there's money going out and you have to figure out a way to make the money come back in.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
So, or food doesn't get put on the table,
Yeah. When you have some of those, I mean, essentially like the responsibilities of life, right? Like your husband, you asked him to quit his job. It's like, okay, now I have to really make this work because I need to be the provider for our family.
Yeah, I was telling the universe, like, I am all in. And I had been sitting on the idea for about 6 months of what I wanted my business to be, just really soaking in information. And then I just was like, all right, I've soaked in enough. And now it's time to go and explode. And and explosion is kind of like a theme in my life. Like nothing happens little, everything just happens like gigantic for me. So it was just one of those things where I was just like, okay, I'm ready to go. I'm in this. I'm committed. And I didn't look back. I just kept going forward. And a lot of people ask me like, oh, well, didn't you have any doubts and things like that? I was like, I was too busy taking action for doubts. I was too busy serving people for any doubts to even come across my mind.
Yeah.
Because there was a person in front of me on freaking Facebook, and I was going to do my best to help that person. And so I just kept doing that. But I wasn't afraid to get paid when I needed to get paid. If somebody sent me a personal Facebook message and was like, hey, Kimra, can I just pick your brain about something? I'd say, yeah, it's $150 for 20 minutes. And they were like, what? Yeah, here's my PayPal link. You can send me some money, and I'll let you pick my brain. And they're like, oh, okay. Like, and some people did pay. Like, I actually had a lot of people pay that. But, I wanted to value, I had to value my time as well. So I had to value myself as an entrepreneur, but also give great value to everybody publicly that I could.
Yeah, and that teaches them to value you. Like when you set up that barrier of like, hey, this is what I'm worth, and you need to respect that if you're going to be in my community in this way. It's like, okay, and people honor that. And yeah, you get some people who kind of are like, ooh, what's that about? But they're not the right people for you anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Like they weren't ever going to buy something else from me anyway. They were just going to come, ask for advice, and then leave.
Yeah. So I'd love to ask you some rapid fire questions about your business, if you're cool with that.
Okay.
All right. Let's see. So can you describe your business in 10 words or less?
My business. Okay. I'm not, first I'm thinking about my group, but no. Okay. So my business. Yeah. My business is a place, almost a sanctuary, where people can find freedom through using technology and marketing tools.
I like that. So what is it that you love most about the work you're doing?
That I can impact a lot more lives than I would think. Like if I help one person get 10 people on their email list, that means I've actually helped 11 people. I love the impact.
And so what makes you feel the most successful?
When my students send me an email saying, oh my God, Kimra, I got 2 more clients. That's it. Like, because I get those emails all the time, and it's like freaking amazing. And I got to do like a little happy dance with everybody. It's great.
Yeah, that rocks. I love those too. What personal practices or self-care do you make time for regularly?
Nothing necessarily regularly. I'm kind of a person who goes in spurts. I'll do like, 2 weeks, I'm really into this. And then I just stop that. And then like, 2 more weeks, I'm really into this. So I don't really have anything that's consistent, but I definitely make sure I take breaks as much as possible when I'm working, which to me is very important to be able to keep working. So I like breaks, like, just go hang out with the kids for a little while, go for a walk with my husband. Like, to me, those things are really important so that I'm not overwhelming myself.
For you, what's the best thing about being an entrepreneur?
That I'm the one that makes the rules.
And for you, what's the hardest thing about being an entrepreneur?
That everybody has high expectations of you.
Yeah. And last one. So what is one word that sums up your business mission?
Freedom.
Yeah, I was thinking that might be it, but had to ask.
Yeah, well, I mean, my name of my business is Freedom Hackers, so yeah. Freedom is the overarching theme and what I want to be able to help other people achieve in their life, whatever that definition is for them. It doesn't even necessarily have to be business related. Yeah. Whatever it is for them to feel that freedom, even if it's just me to inspire them or help them feel good in some way, or even teach them about something that has nothing to do with business at all. I just want people to be able to feel freedom.
Yeah. And so what does freedom mean to you? What does that look like?
Freedom means being able to spend time doing things I love and enjoy. It means being able to spend time with my family as much as possible. It means being able to surround myself with wonderful friends who are supportive of me. It means that I can travel when I want to and see the world. It means that my children are able to be educated in the way that's best for them and fits their style of learning, and me being able to support them in all of their ventures as well.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, so let people know, like, how can we connect with you more? Where can we find you?
So the best place to find me is freedomhackers.com. I have a lot of really awesome free trainings and things there. And then also my Freedom Hackers Mastermind group on Facebook. We now have 40,000 members in my community, people from all over the world who are seeking freedom, just like you guys who are listening to this podcast interview.
That is awesome. Kimra, thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy schedule to chat with us, share your story, and share your inspiration. It was really, really a pleasure to connect with you again.
Awesome. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course. Take care.
The Mindset Reset Challenge is back and starting on May 8th. And I want to personally invite you to join me for this soul nurturing week that always delivers amazing breakthroughs for everyone who moves through it. Each day during this 5-day experience, you'll receive a short audio from me and a loving action step to help you reset your mindset and embrace self-love and growth. Here's what just a few participants had to say about this totally free 5-day experience. Nolene said, "It's a fabulous, uplifting, positive start to your day, week, and ultimately the rest of your life." Another Clarity Crew member said, "This challenge brought to the surface the inner wisdom that we can sometimes bury down." And Hannah said, "Mindset Reset is a week-long opportunity to dig deep, figure out what limitations you're creating for yourself, and immediately begin living a better life. Cailen helps you to recognize your innate potential, harness that power, and create the life, business, and mindset of your dreams." If that sounds good, together we are going to uncover your mindset blocks and work to remove them so that you too can move forward in life and business untethered by your limiting beliefs and ready to expand into your true and fullest potential. So if you want in on the Mindset Reset experience that has already helped hundreds and hundreds of women reset their mindsets for soulfully expansive success on their terms, head over to cailenascher.com/updates now and enter your name and email to be the first to know when it's time for our Mindset Reset.